You've been told that weight gain, crushing fatigue, and feeling invisible are just part of getting older, especially after menopause. You've tried every diet, every promise, every quick fix, only to watch the scale creep higher while your energy plummets lower. But what if everything you've been told about eating during menopause has been backwards? What if the very foods marketed to menopausal women are actually sabotaging your metabolism and stealing your vitality? I'm Dr. Claire Winslow, and after 30 years of helping women navigate the beautiful, complex journey of menopause, I've discovered that the right foods don't just help you lose weight, they can literally transform how you feel in your own skin, the energy, the confidence, the spark you thought was gone forever. It's all waiting for you. But first, let me ask you something. What if the one food you think is healthy is actually the biggest culprit behind your stubborn belly fat? Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss these life-changing insights that could revolutionize how you approach this next chapter of your life. ***, let me tell you about Rebecca. She came to my office 3 years ago, tears streaming down her face. "Dr. Winslow," she said, "I don't recognize myself anymore. I eat the same foods I've always eaten. I exercise more than I did in my 40s, but I keep gaining weight, and I'm so tired I can barely make it through the afternoon without falling asleep at my desk." Rebecca's story broke my heart because I've heard it thousands of times. She was doing everything right according to conventional wisdom, yet her BAFTA seemed to be working against her. What Rebecca didn't know, what most women don't know, is that menopause doesn't just change your hormones, it fundamentally rewrites the rulebook of how your body processes food, stores energy, and responds to stress. Think about it this way. For 30 or 40 years, your body has been like a well-oiled machine, with estrogen and progesterone working in perfect harmony to regulate your metabolism, control your appetite, and distribute fat evenly throughout your body. These hormones didn't just control your menstrual cycle, they were your metabolic guardians, keeping everything in balance. But when menopause begins, it's like someone suddenly removed the conductor from an orchestra. Without estrogen's guiding hand, your metabolism slows down by about 10 to 15%. Your body starts storing fat differently, particularly around your midsection, because it's desperately trying to create estrogen from fat cells. Your insulin sensitivity decreases, making it harder to process carbohydrates efficiently. Your cortisol levels often spike, especially when you're stressed about the changes happening in your body. This isn't your fault. This isn't a failure of willpower or discipline. This is biology. I remember Sarah, another patient who came to me feeling defeated. She'd been following a popular intermittent fasting protocol that worked wonders for her younger sister. "I'm doing everything the influencers say," she told me, "but I feel worse than ever. I'm hungry all the time, my sleep is terrible, and I've actually gained weight." Here's what Sarah didn't understand. The dietary strategies that work for younger women can actually backfire during menopause. Extreme calorie restriction, for instance, can trigger your body's starvation response, causing it to hold on to every calorie and slow your metabolism even further. Intermittent fasting, while beneficial for some, can increase cortisol levels in menopausal women who are already dealing with hormonal chaos. Your body during menopause isn't broken, it's different, and different requires a different approach. Truth is, there are specific foods that can work with your changing hormones instead of against them. Foods that can help stabilize your blood sugar, support healthy estrogen metabolism, reduce inflammation, and yes, even help you lose weight and regain your energy. But there are also foods you might think are healthy that can make everything worse. Let me share something that might surprise you. The food I'm about to mention is sitting in most of our kitchens right now, proudly wearing a health halo. It's been marketed to us as the perfect breakfast, the ideal snack, the cornerstone of healthy eating. Yet for menopausal women, this seemingly innocent food can be one of the biggest obstacles to weight loss and sustained energy. I'm talking about refined grain products, especially those morning staples like bagels, cereals, and even some of those healthy granola bars. Now, I know what you're thinking. "But Dr. Winslow, I buy whole grain everything. I read labels, I choose the healthiest options, and I believe you do." But here's what's happening in your body when you start your day with even healthy grains. When you eat that whole grain cereal or that multi-grain toast, your blood sugar spikes. In your 20s and 30s, your body could handle these spikes with ease. Your pancreas would release just the right amount of insulin. your cells would efficiently use the glucose for energy, and everything would return to baseline quickly. But during menopause, your insulin sensitivity decreases. This means your body needs more insulin to do the same job. More insulin means more fat storage, particularly around your midsection. It also means that within a few hours, your blood sugar crashes, leaving you feeling tired, hungry, and craving more carbohydrates. I had a patient named Linda who couldn't understand why she felt exhausted every morning by 10 o'clock. She was eating what she thought was a perfect breakfast: steel-cut oats with fruit and a small glass of orange juice. "I'm eating exactly what all the health magazines recommend," she told me. The problem wasn't the quality of Linda's breakfast, was the composition. She was starting her day with a massive dose of carbohydrates and very little protein or healthy fat to slow down the absorption. Her blood sugar was riding a roller coaster, and her energy was going along for the ride. But grains aren't the only culprit. There's another category of foods that can wreak havoc on your menopausal body, and these might shock you even more. Processed soy products, those soy protein bars, soy milk, and meat substitutes that have been marketed as hormone-friendly foods for women our age can actually interfere with your body's delicate hormonal balance during menopause. Now, don't get me wrong, traditional, fermented soy products like miso tempeh and small amounts of organic tofu can be beneficial, but the highly processed soy isolates found in many health foods can contain compounds that mimic estrogen in your body. While this might sound good in theory, these plant estrogens can actually bind to estrogen receptors and block your body's ability to produce and use its own hormones effectively. I remember Patricia, a health-conscious woman who'd switched to soy protein shakes twice a day because she'd read they would help with her hot flashes. Instead, her symptoms got worse. She gained 15 pounds in 6 months, and her energy plummeted. Within 3 weeks of eliminating processed soy from her diet, her hot flashes decreased, and she began losing weight steadily. And then there's the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about: alcohol. I know. After a long day of dealing with work stress, family responsibilities, and the general chaos of life, that glass of wine feels like a well-deserved reward. Many of us have been told that moderate wine consumption is actually good for our health. But alcohol during menopause is like pouring gasoline on a fire. It disrupts your already fragile sleep patterns, interferes with fat metabolism, increases cortisol production, and can trigger or worsen hot flashes. That glass of wine that's supposed to help you relax is actually working against every effort you're making to feel better and lose weight. Maybe you've noticed that you can't handle alcohol the way you used to. Maybe one glass now feels like two, or maybe you're waking up at 3 in the morning feeling anxious and overheated. This isn't a coincidence. Your liver's ability to process alcohol efficiently decreases during menopause, while your body's inflammatory response to alcohol increases. The foods you avoid during this transition are just as important as the foods you embrace. But here's what I want you to remember. This isn't about perfection or deprivation. It's about understanding how your body has changed and making choices that support your new reality rather than fighting against it. Now that we've talked about what to avoid, let me share the beautiful side of this story: the foods that can become your allies, your supporters, your secret weapons in this journey. There's a reason I fell in love with nutrition during menopause. It's not just about restriction or giving things up. It's about discovering foods that work so powerfully with your body that you actually feel better than you have in years. I've seen women transform not just their weight, but their entire relationship with food and their own bodies. Let me tell you about the foods that can change everything. Starting with one that might be sitting in your refrigerator right now: completely underestimated eggs. Yes, humble, simple eggs. During menopause, your body craves protein more than ever before, not just any protein, but complete, high-quality protein that provides all the essential amino acids your body needs to maintain muscle mass, balance blood sugar, and support hormone production. Eggs are nature's perfect protein package. But here's what makes eggs especially powerful during menopause: they contain choline, a nutrient that supports brain health and can help with the mental fog that so many women experience during this transition. They also provide vitamin D, which works synergistically with your changing hormones to support bone health and mood regulation. I had a patient named Carol who was struggling with crushing fatigue every afternoon. She'd been starting her day with fruit and yogurt, thinking she was being healthy. When we switched her to 2 eggs, cooked in a little olive oil with some sautéed spinach, her energy transformed. Within a week, she was making it through the entire day without that 3 o'clock crash. The key with eggs is how you prepare them and what you eat them with. Scrambled in butter with vegetables, hard-boiled as a snack with some avocado, or poached over a bed of leafy greens, these combinations provide the protein and healthy fats your menopausal body craves while keeping your blood sugar stable for hours. Speaking of leafy greens, let's talk about what I call the hormone helpers. Those dark, nutrient-dense vegetables that seem almost designed to support women through menopause. Spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard, these aren't just good for you in some vague, general sense. They're specifically beneficial for menopausal women because they're rich in folate, which supports healthy estrogen metabolism. They also provide magnesium, a mineral that many women become deficient in during menopause, leading to insomnia, anxiety, and muscle cramps. But the real magic happens when you pair these greens with healthy fats. Your body needs fat to absorb fat-soluble vitamins and to support hormone production. This is where avocados become your best friend. I remember Janet, who came to me convinced that she needed to follow a low-fat diet to lose the 20 pounds she'd gained since menopause began. She was eating salads every day, but they were sad, dry salads with low-fat dressing. She was hungry all the time, and her skin looked dull and tired. When we added half an avocado to her daily salad, along with a drizzle of olive oil, everything changed. The healthy fats helped her absorb the nutrients from her vegetables more efficiently. Her hunger decreased because fat signals satiety to your brain in a way that carbohydrates simply can't. Her skin improved, her mood stabilized, and yes, she began losing weight steadily. Avocados provide monounsaturated fats that support cardiovascular health, crucial during menopause when your risk for heart disease increases. They also contain potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, and fiber, which supports healthy digestion and helps eliminate excess hormones from your body. Then there are the omega-3 powerhouses, wild-caught salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These fish provide the building blocks your body needs to produce hormones and reduce inflammation. The omega-3 fatty acids in these fish can help reduce hot flashes, support brain health, and even improve sleep quality. I often tell my patients to think of these fish as edible medicine. The EPA and DHA found in cold water fish are exactly what your brain needs during the transition of menopause. Many women notice that their memory improves and their mental fog lifts when they start eating fish regularly. But here's something beautiful that happens when you start eating this way. Your cravings change. When your body is getting the nutrients it actually needs, the complete proteins, the healthy fats, the mineral-rich vegetables, it stops sending you those desperate hunger signals for processed foods and sugar. But knowing what to eat is only half the story. The other half, the part that can make or break your success, is understanding when and how to eat these foods in a way that works with your changing body. Let me share something that transformed how I help women navigate menopausal weight loss. It's not just about calories or even food quality. It's about timing, combination, and working with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them. Your metabolism during menopause doesn't just slow down, it changes its patterns. Your body becomes more sensitive to insulin in the morning and more resistant to it as the day progresses. This means that the traditional advice to eat your largest meal at dinner is actually working against your biology during menopause. I learned this lesson from Maria, a 55-year-old teacher who came to me frustrated because she was gaining weight despite eating healthy foods. She'd eat a light breakfast, a small lunch, and then a substantial dinner with her family. I thought I was being good by eating less during the day, she told me. The problem was that Maria's body was primed to handle carbohydrates and larger meals in the morning and afternoon, not at night. When we flipped her eating pattern, substantial breakfast, moderate lunch, lighter dinner, she began losing weight within 2 weeks, and her energy levels soared. Here's what a day might look like when you're eating in harmony with your menopausal metabolism. You start your morning with protein and healthy fats within an hour of waking. This could be those eggs we talked about with sautéed vegetables, or Greek yogurt with nuts and a small amount of berries. The key is getting 20 to 30 grams of protein early in the day to stabilize your blood sugar and support muscle protein synthesis. Your mid-morning, if you're hungry, might include a small snack that combines protein and healthy fat, perhaps a handful of almonds or a hard-boiled egg. But here's something important. Many women find that when they eat enough protein and fat at breakfast, They naturally don't get hungry until lunch. Lunch becomes your opportunity to fuel your afternoon with sustained energy. This might be a large salad with grilled salmon or chicken, plenty of colorful vegetables, avocado, and olive oil, or a vegetable and protein stir-fry with a small portion of quinoa. The goal is to feel satisfied and energized, not sluggish. Your afternoon snack, if needed, should again focus on protein and healthy fats. Maybe some hummus with vegetables, or a small portion of nuts with an apple. And then dinner. This is where the magic happens. Your dinner becomes lighter, focused on vegetables and moderate protein, with minimal starches. Think grilled fish with roasted vegetables, or a hearty soup with beans and greens. You're giving your body exactly what it needs to repair and restore during sleep, without overloading your system when your metabolism is naturally slower. But timing isn't just about when you eat. It's about creating consistent patterns that support your hormone regulation. Your body during menopause craves routine more than ever before. Erratic eating patterns, skipped meals, or dramatic calorie restrictions can actually increase cortisol production and make weight loss more difficult. Remember Susan, who'd been trying intermittent fasting based on what she'd read online. She was pushing her first meal later and later in the day, thinking this would help her lose weight. Instead, she found herself exhausted, irritable, and binge eating in the evenings. Her cortisol levels were through the roof, and her sleep was terrible. When we shifted Susan to eating regular, balanced meals starting with a protein-rich breakfast, her whole system calmed down, her cortisol normalized, her sleep improved, and the evening binge eating disappeared completely. There's something else I want you to understand about eating during menopause: the power of gentle consistency over dramatic restrictions. Your BAFTA is already dealing with the stress of changing hormones. Adding the stress of severe calorie restriction or elimination diets can actually work against you. Instead, focus on eating enough of the right foods. Many of my patients are shocked to discover that they need to eat more food to lose weight during menopause: more protein, more vegetables, more healthy fats. When you're nourishing your body properly, it releases the weight it's been holding on to for protection. Think of it this way: your body during menopause is like a careful guardian, holding on to every resource because it's not sure what's coming next. When you consistently provide high-quality nutrition, regular meals, and adequate calories, your body relaxes and begins to trust that it's safe to let go of excess weight. This is why crash diets fail so spectacularly during menopause. Your body interprets severe restriction as a threat and responds by slowing your metabolism even further and increasing your hunger hormones. It's not a lack of willpower when you can't stick to these extreme approaches. It's biology working exactly as it's designed to. There's another piece of this puzzle that often gets overlooked, but it can be the difference between feeling energized and vibrant versus tired and bloated. I'm talking about hydration, but not just any hydration. I'm talking about strategic hydration that supports your changing body. During menopause, your body's relationship with water changes dramatically. You might notice that you feel more bloated, that your joints ache more, or that your skin looks dull despite using the same products you've always used. Much of this can be traced back to dehydration and electrolyte imbalances. As estrogen levels decline, your body retains water differently. You might hold on to water in some areas while becoming dehydrated at the cellular level in others. This is why simply drinking more plain water isn't always the answer. Sometimes it can even make you feel more bloated. I had a patient named Diana who was drinking 8 glasses of water a day religiously because that's what she'd always been told was healthy. But she felt constantly bloated and was waking up multiple times each night to use the bathroom. Her sleep was fragmented, which was making her crave carbohydrates and caffeine during the day. When we adjusted Diana's hydration strategy, adding a pinch of high-quality sea salt to her water, timing her fluid intake to support rather than disrupt her sleep, and including water-rich foods in her meals, everything shifted. The bloating decreased, her sleep improved, and her energy became much more stable throughout the day. Here's what proper hydration looks like during menopause. You're not just flooding your system with plain water, you're providing your body with the electrolytes it needs to actually use that water effectively. A pinch of sea salt in your morning water, coconut water after exercise, or adding lemon and a tiny bit of salt to your afternoon water can make all the difference. The timing matters too. Front-loading your hydration, drinking most of your fluids earlier in the day can help prevent those middle-of-the-night bathroom trips that disrupt your sleep. Your sleep is too precious during menopause to sacrifice it for rigid hydration rules. But water isn't the only liquid we need to talk about. Let's discuss what I call liquid calories and how they can sabotage even your best efforts. Those morning lattes, afternoon smoothies, and evening herbal teas with honey might seem innocent. But liquid calories during menopause can be particularly problematic because they don't trigger the same satiety responses as solid food. Your brain doesn't register them as eating, so you don't compensate by eating less solid food later. I remember Jennifer, who couldn't understand why she wasn't losing weight despite eating healthy meals. Then we started tracking her beverages: a large latte in the morning, a green smoothie at lunch, and sweetened iced tea in the afternoon. She was drinking nearly 600 calories a day without realizing it, calories that were spiking her blood sugar and providing no lasting satiety. When we shifted Jennifer to black coffee with a splash of unsweetened almond milk, water with lemon, and herbal teas without sweeteners, she began losing weight immediately without changing anything else about her diet. This brings me to something else that's crucial during menopause: the relationship between stress, sleep, and food choices. These three elements are so interconnected during menopause that you cannot address one without considering the others. When you're not sleeping well, and let's be honest, most women struggle with sleep during menopause, your hunger hormones go haywire. Ghrelin, the hormone that signals hunger, increases, while leptin, the hormone that signals satiety, decreases. This is why you might find yourself craving carbohydrates and sugar when you're tired. It's not a lack of willpower. It's hormonal. Poor sleep also increases cortisol production, which encourages fat storage around your midsection. It's like a cruel cycle. Menopause disrupts your sleep. Poor sleep makes you hungrier and more likely to store fat. Weight gain can worsen sleep problems, and round it goes. But here's the beautiful thing. The foods we've been talking about, the protein, healthy fats, and nutrient-dense vegetables, can actually support better sleep. Magnesium from leafy greens helps relax your muscles and calm your nervous system. The amino acid tryptophan in eggs and fish can support healthy sleep cycles. The stable blood sugar that comes from balanced meals prevents those wake-ups caused by blood sugar crashes. Stress is the other piece of this puzzle. The chronic low-level stress that many women carry, caring for aging parents, supporting grown children, managing careers, dealing with the physical and emotional changes of menopause, can make weight loss nearly impossible, no matter how perfectly you eat. When you're chronically stressed, your body produces excess cortisol, which not only encourages fat storage but also increases your appetite for high-calorie, high-sugar foods. It's your body's ancient survival mechanism, preparing for famine. Even though the stressor might be an overflowing inbox rather than actual physical danger, this is why self-care isn't selfish during menopause. It's essential. The women who are most successful at maintaining their health and weight during this transition are the ones who prioritize stress management alongside nutrition. This might mean saying no to commitments that drain you, practicing gentle movement that you enjoy, or simply giving yourself permission to rest when you need it. Let me bring you back to Rebecca, the woman I told you about at the beginning, who came to my office in tears, feeling like her body had betrayed her. 3 months after we started working together, she came back for her follow-up appointment, and I barely recognized her. Not just because she'd lost 18 pounds, but because she was radiant. Her eyes were bright, her posture was confident, and she practically bounced into my office. "Dr. Winslow," she said, "I feel like myself again. Actually, I feel better than myself. I feel like the version of myself I was meant to become." Rebecca hadn't done anything extreme. She hadn't followed a complicated diet plan or spent hours in the gym. She had simply learned to work with her body instead of against it. She started her days with protein and vegetables. She embraced healthy fats. She ate regular, satisfying meals that kept her blood sugar stable and her energy consistent. She prioritized sleep and found gentle ways to manage stress. Most importantly, she stopped fighting her body and started nurturing it. This is what I want for you. I want you to understand that the changes happening in your body during menopause aren't a punishment or a failure. They're a transition, a metamorphosis into the next phase of your life. And like any transition, it requires new strategies, new understanding, and most importantly, new compassion for yourself. Your body has carried you through decades of life, It has adapted to countless changes, healed from injuries, possibly grown and nurtured children, and worked tirelessly to keep you healthy and strong. Now, it's asking for something different. It's asking for foods that truly nourish, for rest when it's tired, for gentleness when it's struggling. The beautiful truth is that when you give your body what it actually needs during menopause, it responds. With gratitude, the weight that seemed so stubborn begins to release. The energy that felt depleted starts to return. The confidence that felt lost begins to rebuild. But this isn't just about looking better. Though that's a wonderful side effect. This is about feeling powerful and vibrant and alive in your own skin. It's about having the energy to pursue your dreams, to be present for the people you love, to embrace this next chapter of your life with enthusiasm rather than resignation. Start small. Maybe tomorrow morning, instead of that bowl of cereal, you have 2 eggs scrambled with spinach and a little olive oil. Maybe you swap that afternoon granola bar for an apple with almond butter. Maybe you drink a glass of water with lemon when you wake up instead of immediately reaching for coffee. These small changes might seem insignificant, but they send a powerful message to your body. I'm listening to you. I'm learning what you need. I'm here to support you through this transition. Pay attention to how you feel. Notice your energy levels, your mood, your sleep quality, your cravings. Your body is constantly communicating with you, and when you start speaking its language of proper nutrition and self-care, the conversation becomes much more pleasant. Remember, this isn't about perfection. There will be days when you eat the bread, when you have the wine, when you choose convenience over nutrition. That's not failure, that's being human. What matters is that you keep coming back to these principles, that you keep choosing to nourish yourself, that you keep believing that you deserve to feel amazing in your body. You've spent so much of your life taking care of others, your children, your partner, your aging parents, your colleagues, your friends. You've been the nurturer, the caregiver, the one who puts everyone else's needs first. But now, it's your time. It's time to take care of yourself with the same devotion and attention you've given to everyone else. Your body is not your enemy. It's your oldest, most faithful companion, and it's asking you to work together as partners in this next phase of life. When you honor that partnership, when you feed your body the foods that truly serve it, when you listen to its needs for rest and movement and stress relief, something magical happens. You don't just lose weight or gain energy, you reclaim yourself. You deserve to feel vibrant and strong and beautiful, exactly as you are, right now, in this body, at this age. You deserve to wake up excited about the day ahead, to look in the mirror and smile at what you see, to feel confident in your clothes and comfortable in your skin. This is all possible. It starts with understanding that your body has changed, not broken. It starts with choosing foods that support rather than sabotage your hormonal health. It starts with treating yourself with the same kindness and care you would show a dear friend going through a difficult time. If this resonates with you, if you're ready to stop fighting your body and start working with it, leave a comment below with the number 1. If you found this helpful, please share it with another woman who might need to hear this message. We're all in this together, and together we can redefine what it means to age beautifully, vibrantly, and unapologetically. Subscribe to our channel for more insights on navigating menopause with grace and wisdom. Remember, this isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of your most empowered chapter yet.